Okay, so I am Beniamino from Italy, and yeah, I will speak about a string quartet that it will be also performed tomorrow by Miko's Quartet at 3:30. So maybe I will just begin with a brief introduction because it is connected also with the string quartet. So let's say I finished my bachelor in Milan. And in Milan, I study a lot the instrumentation, let's say the timbre, the composition of timbre, and in particular new lutherie, so inventing new instruments. And in particular, I've developed a compositional approach in which I play all the instruments. So I learned the basic technique of all the instruments for which I wrote in order to be able to prepare the instruments in my way, no? And in the 5 years of my bachelor, I've collected a lot of sounds, let's say, in my small garden of sounds, let's say. And this approach, as well as this sound, are well documented in the next piece that I will show, very, very short. That is the last piece of my bachelor, in which there is a video in which I play all the instruments. I hope that the audio will go. Then I was much more interested to study the, let's say, form and structure aspect of music. So I deeply studied last Beethoven and the first Stockhausen. And in particular, I wrote a cycle about the word los in German. So this cycle is Kontaktlos, loslassen, spurlos. And the idea of this cycle was to take distance from my previous music, let's say, so from all these very noisy sounds, words, okay? So in every piece I try to open some new dimension, and this is the central aspect of the string quartet. So in Kontaktlos is the first piece of this cycle. It was written in 21 for Arditi Quartet, so you can find it also in Score Follower if you want. Okay, and tomorrow with Milos. So the title of the piece has minimum 4 aspects, let's say. So the first is exactly to take distance from my old music, so Kontaktlos, and also from my approach to play all the instruments, because in the master I began to take more distance also in the approach because I started to conduct, for example. Then the second aspect is the E-bow, because it used the E-bow, in the strings, in which there is no contact between the bow, let's say, and the vibrating string. No? Later we will see a video. Then is an homage to and a reflection on contact, okay, because later we will see. And finally was written in the center of COVID, so where the contactless aspect was central in the life. No? So let's see the E-bow. So you probably all know what is an E-bow. So it works with a magnetic system, and the sound that comes from this E-bow is really also almost a sine wave. So for my old music, this was completely a new dimension, no? Because I never wrote a pure sound. All my sounds were always very prepared, let's say, very noisy. So it was a very long research to obtain this sound on strings, and so Arditi told me that probably this is the first time that E-bow really works on strings, let's say. Now I show you, and here you can see better this aspect of contactless, no? Of the instrument, because there is no contact between the vibrating string and the bow, let's say. So, then the third aspect, the reflection and homage on Kontaktlos 2000. So, and also on the late string quartet of Beethoven. So these are the two references, because in my master that I finished now, because now I will begin the masterclass in Germany, in Dresden. So I wrote a master thesis about the history of granulation from Beethoven to Stockhausen. You probably all know what is granulation. So I, in this master thesis, I've analyzed the world of microsound, so Curtis Rhodes, but in the instrumental world, let's say. And in particular, the thesis of this master arbeit is I interpret Beethoven as the, let's say, Impulsgeber, so the beginner of the modern reflection about time. So, so the beginning of the unity of time that will be systematized in Stockhausen, how time passes, and the concept of unity in electronic music. So in Deutsch is die Einheit der musikalischen Zeit. So in which, let's say, everything is a temporal phenomenon, let's say. So in this piece, the transition between rhythm and pitch is it's composed. So, and here we see what I used. So there is beside the E-bow a prepared bow. I cut it the bow in 36 grains, let's say, and there is a correlation with the fourth string of the cello, because the fourth string is tuned to a low D, which is exactly 36,71 Hertz. And the bow is, there are some grains smaller, let's say. This so-called legno A is 24 grains, and legno B is a bit bigger, this grain, so it's more noisy, let's say, this part of the bow. Here I show you a small video of the prepared bow. Okay, so then I've used a timbrical scale for the piece that it is based exactly in this on this transition from rhythm to pitch, no? And the scale of the piece is from legno battuto, so a single point, to this prepared bow, or better, yeah, legno battuto, then legno gettato, then the prepared bow that is like, it sounds like a lot of legno battuti very, very fast, let's say. Then there is legno and crine. Then there is just crine, so ordinario, which is still granulated because of the friction of the bow with the string. And then at the end there is this E-bow, so the contactless aspect. Okay, so the pure, let's say, and the without contact. So this timbrical scale is also quite inspired by the 3D timbrical scales of Stephen McAdams, so a researcher in psychoacoustic, you probably know. He worked in NIRCam. And this is the scale. Okay, so there are 3 dimensions. The most important is this one, so from discrete single point to granulated line to line. At the end is the E-bow. And the black elements are the most important sound, this that I described, but also then there are some other sounds like pizzicati and other stuff. But here there is the register in this axis, and in vertical axis is the level of harmonicity of the sound. So up is completely harmonic, so the E-bow is completely up, let's say, because it's almost a sine wave, and down is completely inharmonic, so noisy. Okay, so maybe I think that we can hear the scala. Okay, here just to give an idea of the scala. And then let's say that the form of the piece is like a development of this scala, no? And let's say the form is like a transition from the point to the Evo, but of course it is composed not in a very linear way. So there are some big interruption, and but there is this idea to have this transition. So let's say that the goal of the piece is the Evo part. And the most important thematic aspect of the piece is time and granulation, so the micro sounds. And it is quite in two parts. So the first part is the contact aspect of the prepared bow, let's say. So the noisy sound, which is connected to the music of my bachelor, let's say. And the second part is the contactless, let's say. So this new dimension. I will do just a couple of examples before playing the piece. So, exactly. So at the beginning we can hear this aspect that the thema, let's say the thematic aspect is time, because for example we hear a texture that it is around 24 Hz because the three instruments use only the portion A of the bow, so the 24 little grain in 16 metronome. So they have to do, and this is a texture of 24 Hz. And in the last two bars of this example, it is 2 times lower. So there is 12 Hz. And then there is this thematic aspect of this pizzicati, so it's another layer of time, which is around 3 Hz, no? Because it's ta, 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 ta in 1 second. Okay, so time is really the theme of the piece, let's say. I will play this. Okay, so this is first example. Then in the middle part, there is a point where these pizzicati are developed, and we will hear the ensemble all together, and they will play 36 times, 36, let's say, pizzicati, but orchestrated. And it's very noisy, so, and for this reason it is almost periodic, but it's never periodic, because you know the structure of a noise is aperiodic. So let's say harmonic is periodic and noise is aperiodic. So so we can hear this aspect of the piece now. So 36 points exactly as the 36 point of the granulated bow and the fourth string of the cello. Okay, and then we hear the last part of the piece in the finale. Let's say the cello has a solo aspect, and all the 36 grain of the cello bow are played in this context, which is completely harmonic, and the cello part is also periodic. So we hear like a metronome. Okay. Okay, so there is this long fermata on the two middle string of the violin, so D and A. It covers exactly 36 seconds, so as a relation. But it is also a reference to Beethoven Opus 131, so the C-sharp string quartet that I've deeply analyzed in my master thesis, in which these two open strings have a crucial role, let's say. So all the string quartet in C-sharp minor, it could be analyzed in this perspective. So to see the, so it seems really to be composed thinking on these two open strings, because, for example, he chose the C-sharp minor tonality not only as a reference to Moonlight Sonata, but also probably because it's a tonality with very few open strings in the in strings instruments. So it was like a reference. And so now I will play the whole piece. It's 13 minutes, let's say, and then we can discuss together if you want.